Subheading number 5, decision making. Number 1, Occam's Razor. We are again joined by Yogi because I'm running out of props and she's being such a good sport. So, Occam's Razor. My dad has always told me to keep it simple, stupid, always emphasizing the last word. But Occam's Razor is a classic reasoning tool and principle of logic. Simply stated, the simplest explanation is usually the right explanation. The explanation that has the least moving parts and variables is most likely to be true. This is the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Occam's Razor. Number 2, survivorship bias. We're joined now by my dragon glass. This is Obsidian from Mexico. Survivorship bias. We hear about the victors, but are deaf to the dense graveyard of losers that came along the way. Data sets are skewed when only the winner's variabilities are measured. A CEO of a tech company that makes applications might hear about a push notification strategy that worked well for a competitor. He will then decide to implement something similar, but for some reason they receive negative feedback when they implement the push notification strategy. Why? They only heard about their competitors' success stories, and they didn't hear about the backlash from users who hated receiving unsolicited notifications. So inferences were made about how successful the competitor was without actually identifying what the successful measure was. From the outside, it looked like push notifications, but in reality, it was something else. Survivorship bias dictated in this scenario that push notifications were the cause of the success, when in reality, they just had a better management team and perhaps a better marketing outreach. Another example, perhaps one a little bit more relatable. A football team is losing at halftime when they go into the sheds. The coach gives a riling, inspirational speech, he's really buoying the boys. He's getting them ready to go out there. The team goes back out there and they manage a come from behind victory. You will see survivorship bias at play here because in the post-match interviews, the victory will be attributed to the coach's speech. You will hear players in the interviews saying mindless things such as full credit to the coach. It was the coach's speech that really turned things around. Yeah, without the coach, we wouldn't have made it. If the coach hadn't given such an amazing speech, then we wouldn't have had it in us to have won. You'll hear all of this nonsense, and you always do. But the reality is that the team they won a come from behind victory because the goalkeeper on the other team made 2 incredibly silly blunders. It was sheer dumb luck that they won. It had nothing to do with the coach's speech, but survivorship bias will dictate in hindsight that it was the coach's speech that won them the game, and that coach will go on and get a much better coaching gig in the future. So survivorship bias will skew the data and attribute the win to the coach's speech. Survivorship bias skews data. Yes. Number 3, hindsight bias. We have here a fair dinkum didgeridoo. That deserves a comment. That deserves a like. That deserves a subscribe. That deserves 5 stars. Do it for the Aboriginals. Do it for the show. Do it for YouTube. Celebrate the didgeridoo, which I actually bought in Amsterdam for $10. It's insane. It's hand painted and everything. It cost me significantly more to ship it home than to buy it. But none of that has anything to do with hindsight bias. Have you ever noticed how insightful people are after the event? This psychological term describes the phenomena of individuals or groups inciting that they understand the eventual outcome of an event, when in reality, they can only know by looking back through hindsight. So they confirm all of their ideas in hindsight because they can track the validity of each idea. So the unlikelihood and seeming randomness of the Donald Trump presidential win in 2016 exposed people's hindsight bias en masse. Everyone had an explanation for why DJT came away with the presidency in 2016. You'll remember it became a meme. It was like, that's why Donald Trump won. People were accrediting every possible variation of American life as the reason why he managed to win. Hindsight bias validated so many theories for why he won. But it was only in hindsight bias that it seemed so obvious that he was going to win. It was only with hindsight that people started attributing qualities and prerequisites to DJT, explaining how clear his path to victory was. Hindsight bias is rampant in our current world of posturing and signaling by anyone with a platform. Okay, and that was the final concept. Thank you so much for watching the video. This was actually a shorter clip taken out of a much longer video, which you'll be able to find on my channel, where there's 6 subheadings in total. and in total 31 concepts. So if you enjoyed this, if you managed to make it to the end, first of all, you're a ledge. Cheers. You know, if you liked one of the props, please leave it as a comment. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Leave 5 stars, and have a look at the other videos as well, because there might be something interesting in there for you. I'm going to be making more content, so subscribing is probably the most important one. Click the bell as well. Who knows? Let's hack YouTube algorithm. Just go nuts, spam my stuff. Thank you so much for watching.